Hi, welcome back to the workshop for episode 15 of the TV Yellow Les Paul Junior build. And in this episode I'm going to be tackling a process that I've been trying to perfect for quite some time now, and hopefully I've cracked it. Okay, so we're getting close to the finishing process on this. However, there's one thing missing that we're really going to need, and that's a decal for the headstock. Now, most of you will probably be familiar with a Les Paul Junior headstock. It's got Les Paul Junior text and a Gibson logo in gold on a black background. Now, I generally do water slide decals in black. Sometimes you can infill them with a little bit of gold, but you're mostly limited to what you can actually print. Now, my printer doesn't print gold, and I'm pretty sure that 99% of the people out there also don't have a printer that prints gold. However, I've made a discovery, and I think we can do those gold logos. Now, I have tried other things in the past. When I built my first Junior, I tried making silk screens to silk screen print it. Didn't really work very well. I couldn't find an ink that was strong enough. However, recently I walked in the house and the wonderful Mrs. Shed was actually doing some card making in the house. And she had printed some stuff out, and they were adorned with a wonderful lustrous purple glittery foil. And I said to her, well, how have you done that? And she showed me, and that got me thinking, and it got me researching to find out if there was a way that I could get some of this stuff, which is the gold foil that she uses, if I could get some of this to stick to a water slide decal. So I've done my research, and what I found is, and this is a little bit counterintuitive, but bear with me, if you take inkjet water slide paper, and this is Mr. Decal paper, I got this off Amazon, it's very, very readily available, but it has to be inkjet paper, okay? If you then run that through a LaserJet printer, as I have with these four, one's missing, you'll see why in a bit, you can actually use this in the foiling process to make gold water slide transfers. And I shall show you exactly how you go about it. So obviously the first step is you need to jump into the design program of your choice. I did this in GIMP, as you can see here. Very, very straightforward. It's just some text. You can be as fancy as you like with this though. I was a little bit worried because I am using some quite fine strokes in these graphics, but as it turns out, I didn't have to worry at all. Then next up, you're going to need something like this. Now, I say you're going to need something like this. This is a Mink mini machine, which I've borrowed from the other half, but I've been assured that you can probably do this in a normal laminating machine as well, as long as it's not set too high. I think you'll be absolutely fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that onto its lowest setting, which is 1. I'm just going to cut out one of my little bits of water slide paper, and this really is a dead simple procedure. And we need a little bit of the film, and I've just cut a little bit that's a suitable size. Got a little bit of baking parchment to make a little doohickey folder with, and we'll just feed it in. And it takes a little while to go through, but there it is coming out the other side now. And there it is done. So I'll bring you in closer and we'll see how we've done. And just take that out of the paper. And bingo. And as you can see there, the gold has gone from the foil and it is stuck to our water slide paper. And I'm going to try and bring you in really, really close and just see how clean and crisp those lines are, even on the really, really delicate text that is there. And hopefully you can see there that that has done an absolutely super job. And I'll try and put a figure on how much that's cost me to make. Not very much. I think if I had to buy the foil, you're probably talking a couple of pounds. The water jet paper, I believe, was £15 for about half a dozen sheets, so that will go a long way. I've got access to a laser printer and I've obviously got the Mink Mini machine. I would imagine you'd quite easily get these printed off at an office supplies place for not very much money for a sheet of A4 water slide paper. And as I said earlier, you could probably run them through a normal laminator and get just as good results. So all in all, I think that transfer has probably cost me less than £1. I think, yeah, it's probably cost me at most £1. However, this isn't the finished article. This particular water slide paper is very, very delicate. And I made the mistake when I first got it of just trying to print something onto it, stick it in some water, and then hope that it will work. It didn't. It kind of almost dissolved into nothing. So to make it work properly, you need to give it 2 or 3 coats of clear acrylic spray. And that will just form a layer on top of this, and it will hold the whole thing together when you put it in water. I generally cut these out and do them as 2 separate things, and then I can position them exactly where I want to, but you really do need to put that acrylic on. Once you've got them on the headstock, I tend to use nitrocellulose to over-lacquer them, purely because if you were to put enough of this on to kind of level up over these transfers, it would never ever dry. The acrylic lacquer has to go on very thin coats, unless it will just stay soft forever. So I go with nitro. You can build that up over a period of time and it will sand back flush and beautiful every time. And then you should have an absolutely perfect, flawless, custom, gold water slide decal. In theory, because we haven't actually done it yet and we haven't really got time to demonstrate it in this video. So just to prove that it can be done, and the reason why there's only 3 decals on that sheet, not 4, is because I actually did this process a little bit earlier on my other Les Paul Junior. So I'll get that out and we'll show you the results. And there we have the finished job. This has been done very recently, so this paint isn't fully cured yet. It will need kind of flattening back and polishing back up again in a few weeks' time. But I just wanted to get it done so that we could demonstrate that actually this works brilliantly. I'm very, very happy with this result, and it will give me a repeatable way of doing gold logos and any other kind of a transfer that I might want to do on my builds. So yeah, happy days. I will be going over this in a lot more detail when we finish the current guitar, but I just thought it would be a really interesting look at how I made the logos and how well it's worked. Okay, I'm going to leave this one here. I'm short but sweet this time, but I will be back in a couple of days' time when we'll start the finishing on the other build. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next episode very soon. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.